seen do setting up the wireless or the announcers? Because I know it's been a while since you've done that. Okay, good. Good. We gotta build these other battery boxes. No, not yet. They're doing the pep talk for the other team right now. And then I assume they're gonna send the blue team. I don't know who's who, but the blue team's here standing by. Oh shit, okay. They factory reset this camera. Now they're all running away from the tunnel. I'm a little confused. Chad, can you take 1080? I can try and...
to the 2023 Ravens Rise High School Football Showdown as we get out to Howard County, where the Long Reach Lightning visit the River Hill Hawks. It's a beautiful night in Howard County, and high school football takes center stage this evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Booker Corrigan alongside my friend Brent Harris. Brent, these two schools have a little history.
River Hill, Long Reach, only 6 miles separate them. It's a Raven Rise game, and it is a rivalry here in Howard County. This one should be good.
Two schools that started on the same year, but tonight's going to be the big one for them. Let's get right to our MedStar players to watch for this evening. And there's one asterisk, the second one, but let's talk about Jaden Thompson.
Well, Jaden Thompson, 5'9", 150 pounds, senior for the Long Reach Lightning. He is a top target on the outside. You can see him here stretching the field. If they can find him deep, boy, that opens up the offense in so many ways. He was a second-team All-County last season. He is a guy that they're going to look for a lot in this offense. How do you get the ball into his hands? That's going to be key.
And they look for him a lot on defense as well. Here he's, little pick.
And he's a leader of the secondary. He's a two-way player. He will make an impact here tonight.
It'll be interesting to see because River Hill's going to be without Omar Hassan, but he is a talent.
Super talented. Injured his ankle against Centennial a week ago. Talking to Coach this week, he's been limping around. They don't think he's going to be able to go this week, at least at quarterback. Coach hinted he might play on the defensive side of the football. We'll see. He has been terrific offensively this year. You can see with his feet, 7 rushing touchdowns. He also has 1 through the air. Senior captain, boy, they rely on Omar Hassan so much. We'll see if his absence on offense is any sort of an issue for River Hill.
We'll be back with a great matchup after we look at these MedStar Health. Other players to watch for Long Reach. They get a couple stars.
Yeah, keep an eye on Jalen Etheridge. He's a 6'1", 170 senior. He also plays both sides of the football. One of the top wide receivers in all of Howard County. And Donovan Baylor, he's a run stuffer on defense. And Shane Sheckenross, he's going to be the quarterback if Hassan cannot go. So we'll keep an eye on that. But he also plays linebacker on defense, and when you got a guy named Jet Bourne at running back, you assume he's fast. You assume he can maybe stretch the field a little bit. Excited to see what Jet Bourne does tonight.
Opening kickoff quickly after this quick break. It's going to be a beautiful night here on the hill at River Hill as Long Reach visits.
16 playoff victories, 2 coveted trophies, legions of devoted fans. And for 18 years, the Baltimore Ravens have chosen MedStar Health for their medical care. For generations, people across the region have trusted MedStar Health. We're proud to provide the same quality care to the Ravens and their fans, because there's power in trust. MedStar Health, it's how we treat people.
Since 1837, our mission has been to chronicle the life and spirit of Maryland and the Chesapeake Bay. In all we do and in all we stand for, we are Baltimore. This is the Baltimore Sun.
Football is fun, and it all starts when we play a safer game. We exist to lead, strengthen, and grow football for all. Protecting athletes is paramount, from non-contact to limited contact to full tackle. Our football development model offers a smarter, safer way to play and teach the game, and rewards leagues that reach the highest safety standards. By putting athletes' safety first, together we'll create a better, safer game. USA Football.
M&T Bank Stadium, and it is getting loud. Stroud on the play fake, he's hit and struck, and the Ravens stuff the Texans. Zay Flowers on the far side, spins at the 25, still on his feet. Pumped once, going deep. He's got OBJ over the shoulder catch, and the Ravens have it in the red zone as OBJ delights the home crowd.
Don't miss a game. Don't miss a moment. Don't blink.
And we are underway as Thomas Kessler pounds one deep. As Long Reach in white kicks the ball to River Hill. They are wearing the light blue. A healthy return for the River Hill Hawks, and they will go 1st and 10, first possession. Interesting to see what they decide to do and how they decide to attack this Long Reach defense.
Number 8, Jeff Bourne, giving the Hawks good field position, 24-yard return on that one.
Schreckengast in at quarterback. Takes a shotgun snap, and he's straight run all the way, and he breaks it left side. He's got some room to extend the play, and he's down to inside the 20, right about the 21. Great acceleration, and credit the O-line with opening up a nice hole for him.
We talked in the open about Omar Hassan not being under center after hurting his ankle last week. We talked about being a threat on the ground. And what do we see right away? Shane Schreckengast with a long run, looking a lot like Hassan does so often.
Just like those teams coming out of the tunnel. He had a nice tunnel to run through on that first real play from scrimmage. And River Hill feeling it. That offensive line doing a nice job so far. Inside handoff gains a measly 2.
Is up the middle to number 15, Andres Contreras.
Contreras with the carry, just a sophomore.
Brought down by number 56.
Bobbed and weaved.
Big tackle from big man Alex IT, 6'4", 285. Controls the front side of that defense. The defensive line for Long Reach. He is tough to get around, and you want to run right at him. You better get some blockers, helmet on helmet.
We will get into his story because it is a unique one. As River Hill, strong power sweep right side.
That Shane Schreckengast on the right
gobbles
side
up a couple more. That's going to bring up a 3rd down. As we're still early first quarter action.
River Hill's head coach Brian Van Dusen is the play caller on offense here for River Hill. They run a wing T, a lot of ball control. They like to do a little gap run scheme, so we're going to see a lot of motion out of the Hawks tonight.
And in our talk with him before the game, he talked about it being a hybrid wing T, and we'll try and analyze that for you as we proceed. But they do like to have that running back able to block at any time. Straight QB run, and that is going to give them the 1st down. It'll be 1st and goal for the River Hill Hawks, making a statement on this opening drive.
Impressed with number 2, Shane Schreckengast, the senior captain, who is starting at quarterback because Omar Hassan is out with the injured ankle, and right away a couple of big runs. And this is what this offense needs, a good drive without their star quarterback, get a little momentum here on the home turf.
And he certainly has helped them gain some momentum against that sizable long reach defensive line. Schreckengast shotgun fakes the sweep, handoff, but plows it forward just to the 5.
You're going to see a lot of deception out of this offense from River Hill. They're going to have motion in different directions. You saw the fake handoff to the right and cuts back left where Schreckengast is able to pick up a couple of yards. But we'll see a lot of that where you think the ball's going one way, Book, and it ends up going the other way.
Good look there on the camera. Alex, I can't tell me they call him Alex IT out of Nigeria. Schreckengast again, straight ahead, power forward run, touchdown, River Hill. Statement opening drive.
A lot of Schreckengast on that drive. He had the long run to get him into the red zone and a couple of tough runs to get it into the end zone. That was impressive. You wonder, were they able to run the football without Hassan? The answer on the first drive is a definitive yes.
A resounding yes. Extra point up and good. 7-0 River Hill. They did a fabulous job dominating the line of scrimmage and accelerating into openings.
You look at long reach, their defensive front. That is a big group along that defensive line for the Lightning. And you got to hand it to the Hawks offensive line who really controlled those guys up front and were able to open up some really big holes on a very impressive opening drive.
Schreckengast with the big play of the drive, but it was also just chipping away when they needed to. And now it's going to be Long Reach's first chance to get a possession. Again, so many thank yous to MedStar and, of course, the Baltimore Ravens. Events like this is what makes the Ravens one of the great organizations in the NFL. Adam Riddell doing a just tireless effort every chance he gets to bring high school football to the forefront, and that's what you get. You get a packed house on the home side.
It's always a fun night when we have Ravens rise under the lights, and of course you get a couple of Ravens players here. Marlon Humphrey is the captain with River Hill, Geno Stone with Long Reach, and you know those guys. It's a little rivalry tonight between those two because they gave pregame speeches, they gave them a little advice, and now they're hoping their teams can pull it out.
And you mentioned the cheerleaders are here. Poe is also here, and so is the Chick-fil-A mascot. So we might have some turmoil on the sidelines also. Short kick bounces and need right at the 30, 31-yard line. Long Reach will have a chance to put their offense in action.
31-yard line.
Long Reach, the Lightning, their offense, they'll run a spread offense. They like to spread it out, but they like to spread it out to run the football. If they can run the football, establish the running game early, that's what head coach Jamie Willis wants to do. Clarence Smalley is the offensive coordinator for Long Reach.
Coach Willis was adamant. He likes the spread to run. See what they can make happen. Back to pass deep down the sideline, up for grabs, and
that's Noah Murdoch, 18 on the pass.
Not caught. Noah Murdoch, the quarterback, number 18 for Long Reach.
Well, it's a great catch by Jalen Etheridge. He just ran out of some real estate down the right-hand sideline. Look at this. Makes the catch, does not get a foot down.
So close.
And so it'll come back. It's interesting, too, Booker. Long Reach has used two quarterbacks this year. Noah Murdoch is under center now. Colin Michelson has also played a lot of quarterback this year with several touchdown passes, but Coach Willis has decided to go with Murdoch here tonight under center.
And he certainly put some air under that ball. Inside handoff, gains 3.
Chase Hopkins, Jr., 5'9", 160. He's going to see a big workload tonight.
The Diesel Hopkins, he certainly can gobble up yards. He prefers to gobble up about 4 or 5 yards at a time. He doesn't like to break up too long.
The running game for the Lightning so far through 3 games isn't exactly what Coach Willis wants. He feels like they can get better up front, that they can run the football, establish that running game a little better, but it hasn't been great in the first three games. But
3 receivers to the left, and now we get a little bit of a false start as Long Reach, just a little jump by number 57, Elijah Fields. Just a sophomore, first big rivalry game for him. First home game of the year for River Hill.
Yeah, it's a kind of a strange scheduling quirk where River Hill started on the road first 3. At Hammond, at Howard, and at Centennial. They won 2 of 3. Of course, the game against Howard was close, 12-8 loss. But we know River Hill has been terrific. Last year, regional champs, lost to Damascus in the state tournament. And so this has been a really good program for a long time.
The similarities are eerie. They both lost to Howard this year, and they both lost to Damascus in the playoffs last year. Michelson back to pass. Throws it inside. Great catch by Etheridge, but still short of the yard to gain. It's going to be a 4th down, and the punt team looks like they're coming out. A little too early to roll the dice.
Not on your side of the field, not that deep, but Murdoch's going to look for Etheridge and Thompson a lot tonight. They got to be a big part of this offense. If you can't run the football, you're going to have some ball control in the passing game.
Etheridge and Thompson, both seniors for Long Reach, as they are now set to punt it away. And punt they shall. And it's a short one. Gets a nice bounce. And comes to rest just on the 45-yard line. And here come the River Hill Hawks. Their offense and offensive line, very impressive.
Back the Kickin' for Chicken contest, sponsored by Clarksville Chick-fil-A. Be sure to pick up your
So we know the Chick-fil-A mascot is your book. I wonder if there'll be a little halftime Chick-fil-A spread. I mean, that is, let's be honest, we all like a little Chick-fil-A chicken.
Redeem the ticket for a sandwich at the Clarksville Chick-fil-A.
Really impressed with Shane Schreckengass at quarterback, and just getting thrown in as a backup quarterback, man. He looks so poised.
Toss, sweep, and a great tackle by Long Reach's Donovan Bailey.
That's number 15,
the junior.
Andres Contreras.
He busted that one up.
He's brought down by
that's a loss of 2.
Yeah, Bailey quick, 5'10", 200. You saw him just shoot the gap and get to the runner.
And 12 for the Hawks.
Good takedown.
Beautiful form tackle. These are 2 well-coached teams. And 2 schools that were brought into existence in the identical year.
1996. Part of what makes this rivalry so rich is that first year, they played each other twice, and they've played each other every year since. It's been a close. You have to have close games, I think, for it to be a rivalry. And this has been a close rivalry over the years. Last year was River Hill, who got the best of Long Reach, 16-6, and defense was a big part of it with a pick 6 in that game.
Certainly was. Timeout on the field. 7-0. River Hill at home.
Thank you to our...
On October 28th, come experience a brand new race. Featuring a scenic course through the boardwalk and Assateague Island. Run through our unique course and enjoy our post-race party, featuring Michelob Ultra, Hoop Tea, and Food Lion refreshments. Don't miss our one-of-a-kind oyster medal and high-quality runners premiums. Register now at ocrunfest.com.
Brent, you saw the ad for the Ocean City Running Festival.
That's going to be a great one. Of course, the job you guys do in Baltimore, you know it's going to be a good time in OC.
Schreckengass with more room to run. He finds holes really well.
By the way, Schreckengass is also the leading tackler on this team, so he's going to have a busy night. He's a big part of the defense for the Hawks. I understand he's also a really good lacrosse player. I mean, this kid is an athlete, and just look, he's a big kid, and he's running downhill. I mean, he's not afraid to take on some hits.
Gotta love those multi-sport athletes, guys who play both ways. You know, they play offense and defense. 3rd and 1, and flags fly. 2 guys in motion at the snap of the ball.
Motion on the Hawks.
Be just a small violation.
River Hill this year has been so efficient offensively, averaging 31 points a ball game. They hung 57 in their opener against Hammond, and this is an offense, again, we know about Omar Hassan, what he has been able to do. We're not going to see him tonight with the ankle injury, but the offense as a whole has been really impressive this season.
Gotta love it when you hang half 100 on somebody, as Barry Switzer used to like to say. As you see that River Hill huddle, some of the size, 78 and 15. They don't get their clothes confused when they come out of the dryer, I can tell you that.
I love those unis. How about the helmets for River Hill? Great combination of colors. And you have to think, too, they were jacked up coming out of the tunnel, the Ravens Rise game. You had the music, right? Thunderstruck. They come out with a long drive to open. A lot of emotion, I think, in the stadium. As you mentioned, the first 3 on the road. This is a first chance that the home crowd here has been able to see their team in this building. So I think there's a lot of excitement around this ball game here tonight.
Folks still piling in as we are facing a 3rd and short here for River Hill.
I think with the size, maybe a little QB keeper here would make a lot of sense.
Shane Schreckengast can certainly plow forward, and he does just barely.
He's brought down by number 11, Donovan Bailey.
That's what we like to call a weight room first down.
Yeah, still spotting the ball. They're going to say it's close enough maybe to measure. And I can tell you, long reach coach Jamie Willis is leaning hard, hoping that ball would just be a few inches short. And in the end, it is.
I got to tell you, when I saw the play, it looked like it was clearly a first down. But then when I saw the spot,
First and 10 for
thought they might march the chains out. First and 10 from the 45. Once again, they get into long reach territory. Schreckengast toss, sweep, and he's gone. He explodes through, and that's just a beautifully blocked play. Jetborne. You mentioned a guy like Jet. Got to be fast. He showed his wheels.
Jet to the end zone. 45 yards on the score. By the way, Jetborne this year averaging just over 9 yards a carry. That is going to help the old average when you go 45 on 1 carry. Impressive run by Jetborne.
Here's the replay, and not really touched all that much.
A couple arm tackles that Jetborne just ran straight through the senior to the end zone. And I tell you, when you, again, don't have your star player, these other guys stepping up big time on these first 2 drives and a quick 14-zip lead.
The Lightning, they need to find a way to make a statement here on this offensive possession.
I mean, so far this year, Longreach has played a lot of really close ball games, averaging about 13 points a game, giving up about 12.5 points a ball game. They've all been close. They've all been pretty low scoring. So to be down 14 in the first quarter, that is a big hole to climb out of.
On Monday, October 2, from
they had 3 games last season where they recovered from double-digit deficits.
More details to come.
But it's a different setting here tonight as they are the first visitors to River Hill. Home opener for the Hawks.
And we talked about 2 teams really having great years last year. 10-2 for River Hill, 9-3 for Longreach, both going to the postseason.
Another pooch type kick. And I think they're a little intimidated. They don't want to give Etheridge a chance to run it back. He had shown the ability to be very explosive, number 1 for Longreach.
Yeah, Etheridge is senior, one of the top wide receivers in the county, trying to keep the ball out of his hand.
Yeah, I would too.
Long reach in this offense. They need to get Jalen and Jaden involved. Those 2 are a big part of this offense. We haven't seen really much from them so far.
And it's so early in the game, they can't abandon, the game plan just because they're down a couple scores. Noah Murdoch in the shotgun. And the blitz comes fast, and the tackle is timely on the far side. They got it to Jalen Etheridge.
Jalen Etheridge on the reception.
Tackle that time looked like number 34, Nicholas Gibbs.
So long reach on this play had 3 wide receivers split out to the left, and then they put Etheridge all by himself up top. The defensive back gave him a little bit of room, but man, did he close quick on that hit.
He certainly did. That's a great, great form tackle. Second and a very manageable 5. As we wink down towards the 3:15 mark here, the first quarter. And again, River Hill blitzes heavy, and they get to him that time. More guys than they could block. Ryan Fowler with the sack.
That's his 4th sack of the season. Fowler getting to the quarterback there. Same exact formation for long reach, and they had Etheridge split out to the right by himself. And Murdoch wanted to throw it to Etheridge, didn't have time, and it looked like he only had 1 read. I think that play was supposed to go to number 1 and just didn't develop.
And sometimes you're doing the right thing by taking that sack rather than throwing it up for grabs. 3rd and 11. And the defense gets to him again. Oh, what a nifty little side pass. And somehow, some way, again, it's still going to be 4th and a long 7.
It's a good pickup of about 10. You talk about field position. That could be a big play, but avoid the sack. Get it out to Matthew Brown, the senior who dazzles his way through some of the defenders and picks up a good chunk of that back. But as you said, still short, but nice to pick up a chunk before you have to punt it away.
You see the replay, he's darn near down on his knee before he releases it.
Number 10, R.J. Samuels back to punt.
Much better punt this time, and it still takes that long reach roll. It'll be down right at the 35.
For River Hill, 35.
See that more and more, Book, where teams like this soccer-style punt, and sometimes you do get a nice little roll, which they did there, and makes it tough to return, and sometimes you get a little extra yardage out of it as well.
And the always fun junior versus senior girls flag football game.
Ravens doing a fabulous job of supporting all the counties in their Ravens Rise High School Football Showdown.
We have a big season ahead. A lot of great matchups on these Friday nights for Ravens Rise. And
toss sweep right side, little stutter step, and a great run by Jet Bourne.
His way all the way up to about the 50-yard line.
Not only is Bourne showing the speed, but my goodness, breaking tackles at the end of this run.
Jalen Etheridge. First down for the Hawks.
You see a nice lead block by number 52, Aiden Moscow, the senior.
From the 49.
And Bourne gives him another first down right now. River Hill imposing their will.
Van Duzen, head coach, putting the play in there. He does call the plays here for the Hawks. He has been here, Book, 24 years. Amazing job Brian Van Duzen has done at this program.
Handoff inside. A little jitterbug
Number 50
by Contreras
on the run. Number 12 for long reach.
And it's going to be 2nd and 2.
Second and 2.
Coach Van Duzen told us this week he's got guys to run the football. He's going to run some athletes through there. We've already seen a couple run it, including the quarterback in Schreckengas. So really no lack of talent on the offensive side for River Hill.
And when that run is that successful and that complete and that well blocked, it sets up that play action. It'd be interesting to see if they start leaning on that.
Big part of this River Hill offense is that offensive line, and they lost some players on this team from last year, but most of the offensive line returned, and that continuity we can see already in the running game has been so vital that they have the experience, the big bodies up front, those big nasties that are doing a great job there for River Hill. It's also interesting, we should note, look, both these teams played on Monday.
Yes.
It's only 5 days, right, between these games, and both coaches said there were going to be a lot of challenges that go with that, only a couple of practices, trying to keep the legs fresh. But both of these guys played Monday and then have to suit up and tee it up here on Friday.
Stephanie McClellan team of Northrop Realty.
And they have that adrenaline of the Ravens Rise High School Football Showdown, but that can only last so long. Schreckengoss, straightaway keeper. He got popped there at the end. It looks like it's going to be a first down.
Right side.
Chain gang is ready to move along, and they haven't been stopped yet.
Not yet. And, you know, we mentioned Schreckengoss, also leading tackler on the defensive side. You can see he's got that mentality. Like, he's looking to lay out the defender before they can make the tackle, right? He's looking to initiate the contact as a quarterback.
That can add up to a problem for the defense, especially when he's feeling so confident. 1st and 10, and that'll do it for the first quarter. Your home squad, River Hill Hawks, 14. Long Reach Lightning yet to reach the end zone in a nice Howard County rivalry.
Tap into the sports market with Corrigan Sports Enterprises. CSE has put on hundreds of events throughout its history, and we possess the tools to give your company exposure in the sports industry. CSE has decades of experience helping great companies like Care First, Pandora, New Balance, and Toyota to put their best foot forward in the marketing space, as well as provide spectacular event management. Bring your dreams from conception to fruition at CorriganSports.com.
Each week, Ryan Mink and Garrett Downing take listeners inside team headquarters to chat about all things Ravens, debate topics, and interview players who drop into the lounge. Listen and subscribe to the Lounge Podcast on Apple, Spotify, Google, iHeart, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Be sure to watch Ravens Pregame Live, presented by Caesars Sportsbook, before every Ravens home game starting 1 hour before kickoff. Shelby Granith, Garrett Downing, and Torrey Smith interview special guests and report live from M&T Bank Stadium. Watch on YouTube, Facebook, at BaltimoreRavens.com, or in the Ravens app.
15, Andres Contreras on the carry.
And River Hill went ahead and ran a quick play coming out of the quarter break, and it was the best defensive play for Long Reach's defense, as they lost about 4 yards on that. A host of Lightning tacklers in on the blow-up.
Lightning defense, they play a 3-4, and really the emphasis is to stop the run. They haven't really done that through the first quarter, but they also talk about not giving up big plays, and we've seen a couple of big plays. The Schreckengoss long run certainly kind of set a tone early in the game.
Yeah. Little fake toss, inside handoff, and back to and past the original line of scrimmage. Jet Bourne with the carry.
For Long Reach, Joshua Gilbert on the tackle. Flag on the play.
Second flag so far tonight.
Long Reach has a new defensive coordinator this year, by the way. Robert Etheridge calls the plays for the Lightning D.
Holding on the Hawks.
Ooh, hold on the Hawks is going to negate that gain by Bourne.
You know, last year's matchup kind of turned on a pick six for River Hill. Long Reach could certainly use some defensive magic. Maybe that turnover could spark a little momentum change as River Hill gets backed up.
That'll move the Hawks.
Yeah, they are now
to the 46-yard line.
Second and a city block. And now they're going to go back into the huddle. There's a little sugar huddle. Real quick. Coach Van Dusen wants to make sure things are all on the up and up. Fairly calmly talking with the official, which he's not too animated.
But they're looking at the clock book. I think they're trying to readjust the clock. It says 10:39 right now. That's what one of the assistant coaches trying to get the clock operator to change it.
Call him a whistleblower.
He added, 10 seconds? 10 more seconds? And
now Schreckengast has the play.
A little conversation with the stripes there over the football.
And we are ready. River Hill in the blue unis. High toss, and again, another blown up play. A little bit more motivated defense for this River Hill squad. Long reach, making a nice little play there defensively to stifle that.
Joshua Gilbert just coming off a block, making the tackle all by himself. The senior getting into the backfield for a tackle for loss. That's just a great individual play on the outside, setting the edge.
Gilbert listed at 5'11", 168. I'm going to take the over.
Powerful move there.
A lot of shuffling pre-snap. Schreckengast accelerates to the right side, but that's going to bring up 4th and 17.
Jose Jimenez.
Jose Jimenez there on the tackle. Kind of looked like if Jimenez didn't get the arm out and make the tackle, I thought Schreckengast had a shot at the first down there.
Looks like they're hustling the punt team in. But Schreckengast still in there. He's one of those guys who does everything. And Evan Vilk will do the punting duties for the Hawks. Gets it off clean. And out of bounds.
Evan Vilk goes out of bounds.
The spot's going to be interesting because that went out of bounds. I thought a little bit early, but I think a very favorable spot there. If you're River Hill, that one is deep.
He's
down the right side.
And the referee is on the long reach sideline, so I'm sure he's getting plenty of help. He's just not accepting any of that. They're trying to assist him with where that ball went out there.
Another conversation there with your referees. Make sure we get this one right. The ball's not officially been spotted yet.
And now it is close to the 30. Not bad field position for the Lightning. And now we get some whistles. And they're going to change footballs. Yep.
Well, one thing you do see with the high school teams, when you're on offense, you get to bring the ball you like onto the field. And, of course, the ball that River Hill was using comes out. But that is...
Boosters would also like to thank Sapphire sponsors Chick-fil-A, Clarksville, and...
That is something you will see at the high school level where they like to use their own football.
Just check, make sure it's inflated properly. And they do. And long reach back on offense. Nice 4 or 5 yard gain. About as nice a first down as they've had so far. They had the long completion by Murdoch, but he was out of bounds when Etheridge made the catch.
Brought down by number 78 for the Hawks, Renato Tejeda.
As we near halfway mark
2nd and 6
of the second quarter. Murdoch shotgun. Handoff, bounced outside, and a flag on the play also. And the hit came in hard.
No surprise, Shane Schreckengas right there.
Hopkins along the right side.
And that's
by number 24, the home rook.
That's Chase Hopkins. A little slow to get up, and it looks like there's indicating that the foul's going to be against Longreach.
On the Lightning.
Schreckengas, impressive player.
22-yard line.
I mean, think about this, too, for River Hill. They lost 9 off the defensive side of the football. 9 starters from last year's team that won 10 games and won a regional title. Having to replace all that talent. Schreckengas is a guy who has really stepped up as a leader on that defense, right in on that last tackle. But 9 guys off of starting defense, that's a lot to replace.
Pass goes to the left side. Jalen Etheridge gobbles up some yards.
Good to see him getting involved. Had a touchdown against Marriott Ridge. Had another touchdown against Appleton this year, earlier this season. He has to be a big part of this offense.
And in looking at the replays, that touchdown against Appleton, he was 10 yards free of anybody. I mean, his speed and route running is exemplary. Murdoch shotgun, 3 receivers right. Single setback. Looks like he wants to change a little something. A little bit of a jailbreak. Will he get it off? He won't, but he'll gain some yards. And gets knocked at the end out of bounds. And that'll bring up another 4th down from their own territory.
That's a good decision by Noah Murdoch, the junior, where he tucks and takes here. Under a lot of pressure. He's been under pressure all day. Picks up a good chunk. Makes a tough decision for head coach Jamie Willis. Would they go for it here on 4th and 3?
See if they can flip that momentum switch a little bit. I think you might be right. Now they're shuffling players in and out.
Yeah, it looks like the offense has stayed on. And it looks like Etheridge is the one that might take the snap here, too, is lining up behind center.
They have 12 guys on the field, so they're going to have to maybe take a timeout.
Well, that was they were caught on it, the flag on the field, so they're going to march him back the 5 yards, and I wonder if that will change whether they go for it now on 4th down, because now, of course, it is 4th and a little bit longer than it was before the flag.
And you're deeper back into your own territory. I think it's got to make a big difference.
So from 4th and 3 to 4th and 8, but again, it looked like Etheridge was going to take a wildcat snap there.
Timeout on the field, 14-0 River Hill. Long reach possession, big decision in front of them.
And we would also like to thank our Sapphire sponsors.
The Ravens are searching for the first ever Purple Rising Community Athlete Award recipient. Nominate a female student athlete who is a leader on and off the field. Win game tickets, a VIP experience at the Ravens vs. Rams home game on Sunday, December 10th. To learn more and nominate a female student athlete, please visit BaltimoreRavens.com/showdown.
Shot at the cheerleaders, Spirit Squad.
Tell you, really impressed with the band here at River Hill. They might have more on the band than they do on the football field. What a great group they have.
And they've now decided they are definitely going to punt it away. Probably a wise decision.
It's a big difference, 4th and 3 and 4th and 8. And as you mentioned, on your side of the field in your territory.
Ball on their own 30. Perfect snap. Kick high in the air. And they don't get the bounce that they've been getting. And River Hill is going to start with some fabulous field position.
That might be exactly, too, why head coach Jamie Willis thought about going for it on 4th and 3. That punter only picked up about a net of 9 yards from the line of scrimmage on that punt. That ball's about 2 yards past where they were on the 4th and 3. And so you can see maybe why it would have been easy to try to go for it in that situation.
An excellent point. If you're not getting a lot out of your kicking game, your special teams, it might be time to roll them. And on the tackle, he was going to strip that ball out. And you see that at every level now defensively. The defensive backs, once they know that you have your momentum stopped, they're ripping and stripping to try and create that turnover, which Long Reach sorely needs at this point.
It's been a clean game so far. No turnovers.
Toss left side. Nice, powerful run by Jetborn.
Gain of about 4 on the play.
And that'll put them again inside the red zone.
It's been Schreckengast, Bourne, Contreras. These three have literally carried this offense here in the first half. Contreras, just a sophomore too. Boy, he's got a real bright future.
And a lot of that can be attributed to the line. Some of the great play. Cole Messina doing a nice job. There's a power run up the inside. And that'll bring us to 1st and goal.
It's another first down for the Hawks.
Should also be noted, Book, that River Hill, without their best running back going into this game. We talked a lot about Omar Hassan at quarterback and what he's done with the 7 rushing touchdowns. Nicholas Gibbs is also out of this ball game, who's got the bulk of the carries so far this year for the Hawks. So really, this offense is down their 2 best runners, and they have still dominated here in this first half.
A somewhat depleted core, but finding a way to accomplish. Schreckengast, again, straight ahead run outside, and he is in. That's another touchdown. River Hill making it look easy. You talk about my friend Kevin Hart. Say it with your chest.
What a job by the offensive line for River Hill. I mean, they have been dominant here up front, and they're opening up some big holes, and you can see here on the replay, Schreckengast just gets behind his blockers and takes it in.
Helmet comes off. Snap down, kick is good. Evan Vilk, 3 for 3 on extra points. Nice job there, Evan. I saw an interview with Larry David, and they said, what would you do, because you're a big football fan, if you could change football, what would you change? One rule. He said, I'd get rid of the kicking game, no goalposts. I don't want to see one kicker decide a game, which I don't think we're going to get into that situation tonight, but he thinks it's interesting. And of course, we have Justin Tucker. I kind of like the goalposts where they are, right?
When you have the greatest
kicker in the history of
time. You're pretty good with the kicking game. I heard one suggestion to put a pole down the middle, and if you hit the pole, you get an extra point. So you get 4 points for a field goal. You'd think Justin Tucker would love that rule. How often does he kick them down the middle? But look, Evan Vilk tonight, 3 extra points. He's been perfect.
He's been great. He's been great. But to get back on that point, because it is It is a nice little point to make. So does that mean if you're down 4 on the opponent's 40-yard line, do you tell Justin, like, dude, we got 3 seconds left. You got to hit the pole.
Hit the post. Got to hit the post.
That is a genius rule.
Right down the middle.
See if they go with that pooch kick again. They have definitely wanted to keep the ball away from Etheridge.
Etheridge standing around the 15-yard line. This could be well short.
And they fair catch it.
They're giving up a little field position, Riverhill, but at the same time, keeping it out of the hands of Jalen Etheridge has really proven to be a smart play.
Dexter Travers with the fair catch, the senior. 5'10", listed at 155. I don't know who does the weights for these rosters, but I want them to start recording my weight.
I mean, look at these big boys, 56, 57, right? They just, both sides of the line of scrimmage, there is some meat up front for sure. Yep.
Shotgun formation, Murdoch passes to the left and just gobbled up.
Long reach with the pitch, no gain.
Just another short pass, and I think a safe pass at this point. Early in the ball game, Long Reach was looking downfield, looking to try to open up the offense a little bit, unable to connect on the long throws, and now they've gone to a little bit more conservative offense here the last couple of possessions. Of course, Noah Murdoch still in there. Last week in that loss against Howard, they did switch quarterbacks, and we did see a little bit of Colin Michelson as well. Coach Willis said if whoever starts, he's hoping finishes the ball game. He likes to stick with one QB.
Handoff, power, just not there.
But he's stacked up by the Hawks.
Riverhill defensive line just doing a great job shedding blockers. As we see a shot of big number 78, Renato Tejeda.
It's interesting. If they're going to continue to go a little bit more conservative, I think Long Reach would really like to see Ricardo Samuels involved, the tight end. He is a big target. Maybe instead of looking to the outside, they throw a little bit more over the middle seam routes. I think Samuels would be a big target to hit.
And tell me my man doesn't know what he's talking about. Oh. Unfortunately, it gets picked off, but it was, in fact, a seam route. Although it was 3rd and long, so that's effectively their punting.
Straight down the middle, and it was tipped. And, you know, you work on that tip drill early in training camp because of plays like that. And heads-up play by Vipin Gennady. And this senior coming up with a big pick here, and great field position as well for Riverhill.
With 2:10 to go, there you see the deflection. And Shingati comes up with it. And you can see Matthew Brown trying to strip. They're trying to make anything happen. Nice shot of Long Reach's number 56. Alex I.T. from Nigeria, Africa. And, you know, one of those guys who picked up football very late in the game. And he was seen in the city of New Orleans. The coach loved telling the story about how, you know, a coach came up to him and said, "Do you play football?" And he said, "I do a little bit." But he came home from that trip and said, "I want to play football."
6'4", 285 pounds. Seems like he has a frame to play football. And it's also, it's interesting to note that obviously you can't recruit at the public school level, but if you happen to be the neighbor of the coach and the coach talks you into playing for the team and you're already in the district, that is perfectly okay. And that's what I call good recruiting out of the head coach there, because Alex I.T., man, has not played a lot of football, but he is an impressive individual.
It pays to be a good neighbor.
There he is right there, 56. Just massive. And he has been a good neighbor and a good player as well.
They say he's a great teammate, very popular on the squad. Schreckengast again. Oh, pot! Wow!
On the right side, but
have a seat, son.
Dexter Travers, the senior.
Travers.
You know, we were just talking about 6'4", 285. Travers 5'10", 155, and he can still bring it.
Yeah. Here's a look at it. Schreckenkasten just popped. Get back, young son. You don't know me like that. Single setback, toss left side, and Longreach's defense had figured out their way to stop so far. They got up to a rough start early, but they've certainly stepped up, as we see our friend Alex IT right there.
There he is.
Young man out of Nigeria. Ikatomi, but they just call him Alex IT.
IT. Yeah, give Coach Willis a lot of credit, right? He's in his 11th season at Long Reach with the Lightning, and he looks up, and who is his neighbor? But that big kid. He says, you got to play some football.
Well, they have another Nigerian on the team. They call him Tech Kimau, number 50, who's a junior, just like Alex IT. And the little double reverse and another hit on the sideline.
That was IT with a huge hit, but man, Jet Bourne has been so impressive running the football here tonight. And again, without your top running back, your quarterback, Jet Bourne has really filled in nice.
Filled in nicely, and you said it earlier. Clean game, no turnovers, other than the one interception. But River Hill came in knowing they can't turn the ball over against Long Reach, and Long Reach is the only team that committed one so far.
And it was, as we mentioned, the turnover last year. River Hill beating Long Reach 16-6, but a pick six in that ball game for the Hawks really changed everything. And so, big lead for them, 21-zip. Then they get the turnover. They have a chance to put a few more points on the board here in the final minute.
38 seconds on the clock. Timeout on the field.
I think it's obvious you go for it here. I mean, that's a long kick. 38 seconds left on the clock. I think you go for it, see what happens.
I agree with you 100% on going for it. You've shown the ability to power the ball. And if you don't get it, Long Reach has got a long way to go and a very short time to get there. Schreckengast under center. Couple head bobs. Went for the hard count. Now he drops the shotgun. Takes the snap, and he is not going to get it. That's a momentum-building defensive stand for Long Reach right there. Clock will stop with the change of possession.
Good push by Long Reach up front and making a stop on fourth down. Again, though, River Hill feeling like with only 30 seconds left, that they're not going to march down the field in that short amount of time. So that was a gamble in some ways, but certainly a very safe play for River Hill.
Not a big gamble.
Not a big one.
Not a big one.
We'll say a small game.
And folks, don't go anywhere at halftime. We have a tremendous segment. I was able to catch up with my good friend, Coach Scott Cohen from the Baltimore Ravens, and talk about some of his responsibilities. And the other thing we hit on, Brent, is the multi-sport athlete. He played 2 sports in college, and it's just it's a great conversation. So I hope people get as much out of it as I did sharing some time with Coach Cohen.
Smart here by Coach Jamie Willis. Long Reach taking a knee, taking it into halftime, talking it over, and let's figure it out.
Taking their lumps.
There you go.
And moving on with it. As the clock winds down. First half, River Hill got off to a blazing hot start, gobbling up yards by the score and reaching the end zone 3 times. But the Long Reach defense has flexed their muscles a couple times tonight. It'll be interesting to see how they and what they change and how they're able to implement those changes.
We're pretty excited to be here. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, but I know we're going to get our jerseys. We're super excited for that.
We're really excited because we want to see like what they look like, and we're here to represent them.
You can hear the excitement and feel the excitement when you come in. So we're excited. It's contagious, but it's been a long time coming. Our marketing team has done a fantastic job. Our partnership with Under Armour, but also the State's Athletic Association to really kick off and try to pioneer a formal girls flag football league. And we know this is really exciting for Frederick County, but we also are very excited to see this hopefully in years future expand throughout the state.
It's great to see you guys here. Uniforms are sweet, by the way, right? Yeah! It's amazing. There's nothing like being a football player and getting your game uniforms for the first time, right? There's nothing like it, and you guys look amazing. And we are like so proud to have everybody here. My daughter's an athlete. She didn't make it in time to get to play flag football, and I know I'm very sorry about that, and I promise you she's sorry about that too. We talk all the time about how great it would be to play football and what position she would play. Of course, she thinks she'd be a quarterback, right? How many quarterbacks we got? A lot of quarterbacks. Thank you for being pioneers. Thank you for doing something that's going to make a difference. You're going to love it, right? You're going to have fun. That's what you're doing it for, because you want to have fun. But you're not going to just do it for that. You're going to make a difference in girls' lives forever, because you're doing something for the first time, right? You're doing something for the first time that starts change, and that's what everything is all about. The most awesome thing about football to me is that everybody can play it. We tell our team on Saturday night before we play, I tell them, I say, I cannot wait to take the field with you and watch you play. I promise you, we'll get the tape and we'll find a way to see you guys play. I cannot wait someday soon to watch you all play. Can't wait to do it. So let's get a team picture. Phil, you got it, right? How about we say family? How about we say family? Because that's what football is. It's family. We ready? Okay, so we can do that. We'll do that too, okay? First, we're going to do family. Family on three. 1, 2, 3. Family! All right, now Ravens on three. 1, 2, 3. Ravens! All right.
Hey, welcome to halftime here at the Ravens Rise High School Football Showdown, and what a treat. Coach Scott Cohen joining us for the halftime segment. Coach Cohen, thanks for carving out some time for us. I know the kids are going to appreciate it.
Happy to do it.
Now, tell us, I know off season you do everything under the sun, but during the football season for the Ravens, what is your day-to-day like?
Yeah, so I'm as director of football research. I'm on the coaching staff. My background has been in scouting. I did that for 23 years. Going from scouting assistant to college scout to pro scout, pro director, assistant GM. Coach Harbaugh and I worked together in Philly for 7 years when I was director of pro scouting, and we were really close in our time there. And so he kind of brought me in to give the coaching staff a little bit more of a scouting perspective. So during the season, my biggest role is probably advanced scouting our opponents. So we kind of started a coaching research department, which is has a lot of talented young football minds that kind of look at all the different ways that we can approach an opponent, strengths, weaknesses, analytics, tying everything together. And so I kind of oversee that and work all week. And we're getting ready for a current opponent, and I kind of keep track of them. But then I'm working on the next opponent. Like this week, I'm working on the Colts. I'll have a report due on Monday, by 4:00, and meet with the coaches that night to kind of get them prepped for their next opponent.
That's a full slate on a day-to-day basis. I love that. You also, you did the multi-sport thing as an athlete. Talk about how important, how many lessons you learned as a multi-sport athlete, and do you recommend it for today's high school kids?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I know, times have changed. I played 2 sports in college too. I played football and baseball. I know that's not as realistic now as it used to be. But, that being said, I think like there's definitely a point in time through youth sports, like, early part of high school, even through high school where, 2 sports definitely have an advantage. Not only do you get a little bit of a break from the one sport. I think it, like, changing gears, I think is good, mentally, physically, kind of using different muscles, like learning different techniques, like even just here being with different teammates and just being around different coaches. I think it helps, I think, shape kind of your frame of mind and I think for what you do for the future. You don't know what sport you're going to be best at. The more opportunities you have to take advantage of them, I think you're better off.
And I'd love to see those kids expose themselves to all those opportunities through different sports. Speaking of exposure, Adam Rudell and the Ravens Rise crew have done such a great job. Let's take it all the way in the Wayback Machine. Some great high school football memories for Coach Cohen.
Sure. I grew up in Cherry Hill, New Jersey, which is a suburb outside of Philadelphia, and I went to Cherry Hill West High School. And Cherry Hill West was kind of known as a baseball school. Like we had a legendary high school program, high school coach, and went to 5 straight state championships. But football, we had a lot of talent, but our teams weren't as successful. But my sophomore year, I got put on a varsity. I had played receiver as a freshman the year before. They called me up to play varsity, but they put me at tight end because they needed a tight end. And I was probably 6 foot, 180 pounds playing tight end against, what seemed like, men. But, I had a good season. And like probably my best moment that year was we're playing a rival team, Cherry Hill East, on Thanksgiving Day. And we hadn't beaten them in at least 10 years. So it was kind of a big deal. We were competitive that year. And we had a lead. I think we were up 17-14. In the fourth quarter, and about 3 minutes left. It was like a 3rd and 4, and we called this pop pass, which was fake dive, and kind of ran a pop seam route, and ended up making a catch between a safety and a linebacker. We get the first down, kind of run out the clock, and then it was mayhem on the field, and it was probably my best. That was probably my best memory. Like the next 2 years, I ended up having some injuries and missed a lot of time, and I ended up starting 4 years in college, but junior and senior year were disappointing from an injury standpoint.
Sounds a little bit like the Tim Tebow jump pass. Am I correct? We were either
a little bit. I mean, just kind of like a fake dive inside, kind of fake arc block, and then just kind of it was a good target. And Brett Straub was the quarterback at the time.
What advice would you give to a young high school athlete, or what advice would you give to a high school athlete's parents?
Number one, for the athletes, I mean, have fun doing it. Like enjoy being around your teammates. Like I said, those opportunities don't happen necessarily in the classroom. I think like the things you learn, work ethic, the toughness, like the camaraderie, those are really hard to duplicate. So enjoy all those moments. And as a parent, I've gone through it, with my kids. Enjoy watching them play. Be supportive, but not try not to pressure them too much. I mean, they have enough pressure on themselves throughout the normal course of the day. Just be there, be a positive influence from a support standpoint. And I know, and I remember like my parents really enjoyed spending time with the other players' parents, and they always kept in touch with them. So, and I mean, I think the other thing, like, as being a high school athlete, is like take advantage of, any recruiting opportunities that can help you get into a better school. There's, being an athlete does give you some advantages in terms of finding the right school for you. You may be able to get like one level up of a school, maybe academically, maybe don't get into, but sports may help you get into it. So, read through the research, your academic, your guidance counselors, and like, you never know. I know for me, like I had my heart set on going to Lafayette. I took 3 visits there, junior, senior year. After I broke my leg, my senior year, they kind of came off of me, but I was fortunate. A guy named Dave Steckel was the offense coordinator at Dickinson College. He went on to become a defense coordinator at Missouri and head coach at Missouri State, but he convinced me to take a visit to Dickinson, and loved my visit there. Ended up going to Dickinson, playing the 2 sports, and got my job in the NFL through that. So like you never know. Just keep your eyes open for any opportunities that are out there.
Go Red Devils. He is Scott Cohen, Director of Football Research for the Ravens. Coach, thanks so much. I know it's a busy time of year. Let's go Ravens.
Go Ravens. Good to see you, Booker.
Football is fun, and it all starts when we play a safer game. We exist to lead, strengthen, and grow football for all. Protecting athletes is paramount, from non-contact to limited contact to full tackle. Our football development model offers a smarter, safer way to play and teach the game, and rewards leagues that reach the highest safety standards. By putting athletes' safety first, together we'll create a better, safer game. USA Football.
Set, go. Pull the flag, pull the flag, pull the flag, pull the flag.
We are here in beautiful Frederick County, Maryland, in Frederick City at Frederick High School for the inaugural Girls Flag Football Kickoff Classic. The day is here. We have all 10 of our high schools competing, 5 sets of games going on, and it's nothing but fun and excitement here in Frederick County.
Hey, good job, ladies, good job. Good job. Good work. Good work. Good work. Good work. Hey, we're on defense now.
Really impressed with the girls. We've been at it for about 3 or 4 weeks now, and you figure the sport of football is really complex. From where we started to where we are now, we've light years ahead because a lot of these girls have never played football before. The athletic ability is tremendous. These girls are athletes. It's great to be out here. The Ravens have done an outstanding job of bringing this sport to Frederick County, and we're kind of like pioneers for this, and we want to make sure that we do a good job so this becomes a statewide sport, because all around the country this is the fastest growing sport right now, and it's just exciting to be a part of it.
It's always good to get the first one. Family on 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Family!
I grew up in Frederick County. I'm a graduate of TJ High School. I would have loved to have this opportunity. I personally loved football. I grew up playing football with all the boys in school, so I think it's just been a lot of fun for the girls. It's a lot of learning. I wanted to do it because it's like, why not be part of something, different? My sons, I have 3 sons, and they all played flag football. It's a fun sport to watch, and I think it's just a great opportunity for girls to try something new.
It was good. It was definitely stressful at first, a little anxious, had to get the jitters out. First real flag football game, definitely different than our scrimmages, a lot higher intensity. It was just a lot of fun.
Great effort today, ladies.
Hey Ravens fans, subscribe to the Ravens official YouTube channel for analysis, interviews, press conferences, and exclusive Ravens Wired content.
Agent Zero, operator.
You can't get anywhere else. Visit youtube.com/Baltimore Ravens to follow and subscribe.
Ravens Rise High School Football Showdown Game 1. And we are at River Hill. They have a 21-0 lead over Longreach in their home opener. Booker Corrigan, Brent Harris here bringing you the call. And just like the rug ties the room together, halftime highlights and stats ties the game together. We've got a good one, but the stats have been somewhat lopsided in the favor of this home squad here on the Hill.
You look at the running game for River Hill here tonight, Booker. I mean, it has been dominated. It starts with Shane Schreckengast, the junior captain, filling in for the injured Omar Hassan. And my goodness, is he filling in well, because he had a huge run in that first quarter, that first drive for a touchdown. Also getting involved, Jet Bourne, turning on the Jets to the end zone for a long touchdown. And Andres Contreras also chipping in with some really good runs. Man, the running attack for the Hawks has been awesome.
And the running attack is great because the offensive line is invested in the success of their running backs and their running quarterback. You see his toughness right there. The helmet comes off, but he still ends up in the end zone.
Yeah, Hawks like to run the football. I got to imagine for Brian Van Dusen, the head coach, who also calls the plays second half, it's going to be a lot of the same, right? Yep. They want to eat up some clock. They want to continue to dominate at time of possession. Think about this, Book. Last week in the game that the River Hill Hawks won against Centennial 28-18. All 28 points were scored in the first half. That was on Monday, by the way. They did not score in the third or fourth quarter. I got to think Jamie Willis and Long Reach feel like maybe they have a burst of energy here for the second half. River Hill was not able to put that game away like you would have thought. Could that happen again here today?
Interesting as we see their huddle, last-minute instructions for them as they get ready to try and overcome a bit of a deficit for sure.
I think it's interesting, both these teams playing on Monday. It is tough to play. I know high school kids, you'll say hey, they have energy to burn, but I get playing on Monday and then Friday in a physical game like football, right? And to put what they did out there just a couple of days back, very little time to prep for this one. Both teams I know each other well, but I'm curious to see how much it affects the second half.
Yep. See if fatigue becomes a factor. You know, the other thing that you had to look at was with the backup quarterback of Shane Schreckengast, turnovers, and he has done nothing but be perfect with the ball.
I mean, that's one thing that I would imagine that head coach Brian Van Dusen probably told his junior quarterback, look, just be careful with the football. Don't make mistakes. Let's just win time of possession, control the clock. Let's run this thing up and down the field, right? Even if it is 5 yards at a time. But what did we see? Two huge plays, one by Schreckengast and one by Bourne. Bourne's was for a touchdown. Schreckengast led to a touchdown in the first drive. So they were smart with the football. They didn't make any mistakes. And the junior Schreckengast, who's filling in for Hassan, I thought just played brilliantly.
Clean first half. As we get a good look at number 10, R.J. Samuels.
I think he's got to get involved. He's got to get involved. I mean, you look at his big body tight end. He's a guy that they can start. If they go to him and start moving the chains a little bit. Clarence Smalley, who is the offensive coordinator for the Lightning, they need to pick up some first downs and build some confidence because right now the offense has really gone nowhere.
Can they gain some momentum based on Long Reach's couple nice defensive stands there in the second quarter? The Long Reach defense came to play.
Yeah, look, Jamie Willis told us this week, head coach of Long Reach, he said, our quarterback needs to manage the game. He needs to manage the reads, right? They're talking about kind of playing it safe. This second half down 21, you don't have to try to get it all back in one play. Yep. You can still have that philosophy with 2 quarters left.
Yep. The other interesting fact that I found, Brent, and I don't know how often you see this, is the pooch kickoffs that River Hill's done. Every time after each touchdown, they just kind of pooch it down 15, 20 yards. They're keeping it away from Jalen Etheridge. So tip of the hat to him, but he's back there saying, hey, come on, tip your hat, enough. Give me one chance.
My thing is, if you're going to pooch kick at this point, if I'm head coach Jamie Willis, I'm moving Jalen Etheridge up.
Yeah,
right? The second it's kicked, I'm allowing my blockers to move up and Etheridge to field it and see if we can get a big play.
And there's a huge tell. I mean, the kicker only backs up. The kicker, Vilk, only backs up 2 or 3 yards. So you can tell there he goes again, and Etheridge is going to have a chance here. Tough bounce. He gathers it, gets a nice block. Didn't think it was a foul, but it was. And Etheridge proves why he is so dangerous. That flag, Brent, we got to talk about it. By golly, look at this young man go. Hold your nose, because here goes the cold water.
There's another flag down at the 32, Booker. I'm with you. I don't think that was a penalty. I thought that was a clean block that sprung him way back at the 10-yard line, and we'll see a replay of it. They're going to say that he came high into the helmet. I thought it was a clean block.
Jalen Etheridge says, you finally kicked me the ball. It even bounced twice, and he ran it all the way back. So he
ran it 90 north-south, but he also probably ran another 40 east-west. That was an incredible return by Jalen Etheridge.
That would have been on SportsCenter's top 10 had it not been for the flags. Oh, and here the referees are going to talk about it.
Because this is going to negate a 90-plus yard return for a touchdown.
And he's exhausted. He's exhausted.
We just talked about momentum and how quick it can shift. This is exactly what Jamie Willis and Long Reach were looking for. A big play, something to build momentum around, and they got it, but it's coming back.
Oh.
I mean, the stadium here went silent.
Yeah. Yeah. Unreal. What an athlete.
So I think they're trying to figure out where to spot it, although I think the flag was thrown exactly where the block occurred.
Yeah.
It's inside
the first
20,
one, and then there's
half the distance.
Like you said, there was another one down all the way at the far 30-yard line.
Of course, if they're both against Long Reach, it won't matter. But if they were offsetting, it could re-kick. But I think they're both going to go against Long Reach. I just think the first one, it was a clean block. It was chest to chest. It wasn't blindsided. The only thing I can think, Book, was the block maybe was high, and maybe in the head area, that's what they called. But otherwise, it was not a block in the back or even in the side. That was straight up.
And here we will learn of the foul. The referees have already reached out to Judge Joe Murphy, get the correct call. I got to tell you, I'm sure my young nephew Blake Corrigan was on the edge of his seat. He loves a good kick return. He loves Shuffle Mania running wild on you, brother.
The block was so powerful, Booker. It was such a great, clean block that it was. I feel like the referee may have just started to throw a flag, assuming that something went wrong. And when you look back at it, I just don't think there was any foul on that play.
Yep. Now they're really talking about the spot. And then they're talking about the flag further down the field. A slow start here to the third quarter.
Coach Van Duzen, it's got to be just a sigh of relief after what he just watched on the return from Etheridge. I wouldn't be arguing where the ball is spotted. The fact that it's going to be spotted anywhere, not in the end zone, is a win right now for River Hill.
And now the officials
the officials getting a workout going from sideline to sideline here. And I don't think Jamie Willis wants to have any sort of conversation right now. I mean, this is deflating for Long Reach.
And there is Etheridge in the huddle with the official.
Hands on hips.
Don't they run a segment called Come On, Man?
It's a dagger. Absolute dagger here to start the third quarter.
What an effort. And let's get to the replay.
All right, let's take a look at it. Keep an eye right here. Right around the 10-yard line. You'll see number 4 come in on the block. Right there, I see nothing at all wrong with that block.
He didn't even knock him down.
That was a clean hit at the 10-yard line.
He didn't even knock him down. And now there's another flag that comes up right about here. Oh, that was on... I think it was on River Hill.
Dexter Travers was the one that delivered the hit, the 10-yard line. And he really had to come from around and take a good angle to make it a legal block.
He did.
I think it surprised the referee who was back on the goal line. It was a...
Oh, he had him lined up, but he didn't lay him out.
No, but he also
even go down.
He also hit him straight on. It was not from the side and certainly not from the back.
Nope.
We still haven't got an official call as to what the foul is.
A lot of exercise.
I mean, this guy,
maybe he's picking
the
it
lead
up.
referee has gone to both sidelines.
He does have the right to pick it up.
I don't think he's picking this one up. Personal foul. And it's going one against each team, as you said, down at the 30 is going to go against
that was
River
definitely
Hill.
against, and then another block in the back.
So it looks like we've got 3 total fouls on the play. We've got a personal foul on Long Reach, personal foul on River Hill, and then
So 2 personal fouls and then a hold.
Another look at the replay.
Tavers, I mean, that is just a clean hit.
Not even that big of a hit.
The ball will be marked.
And then just an exceptional return by Etheridge. He has some blockers out in front. Man, look at the hustle, too, from Long Reach getting out in front. Little caravan in the end zone.
Yeah. And it's going to be Long Reach ball on their own 6-7 yard line. Wow. No Murdoch is now in the shotgun. Long Reach offense, they have to find a way to put that in the rearview mirror. We're going to reset again. 21 seconds that play took. It
took about 12 and a half minutes. There's still conversations going on between the referees and Jamie Willis, the head coach over there at Long Reach, far side of the field.
Hopefully
this is entirely too long of a delay.
Hopefully Jamie Willis has not seen a replay. The 2023 Ravens Rise High School Football Showdown. It is an amazing event. We are so fortunate to be able to be a part of it and all that they do. Shamar Gray doing a great job. Adam Rudell doing an amazing job.
Hats off to a couple of Ravens who came out to support Marlon Humphrey and Gino Stone here tonight.
Inside handoff, and there you go. A little justice served. He's still
there
going
needs to be
forward.
A whistle at this point. I mean,
he's still going forward. I agree.
He's going forward, but for about 8 or 9 yards, the defense had a chance to try to just rip the ball out when it should have been blown dead, but he does pick up a few extra yards. That is a great run.
And he still keeps going, and all the defenders, that's why he keeps going. They're not trying to tackle him. They're ripping for the ball.
Joshua Gilbert.
Biggest play of the night so far for Long Reach. And they're going to stick to the run, pound it inside again with Gilbert going at it. The senior.
Best drive so far on these first couple of plays for Long Reach. And Coach Willis talked about the spread offense, but they spread it out, and they'll have 4 wide receivers, but they spread it to run the football, to spread the defense out, and maybe a chance to be able to find some holes up front.
Murdoch went over to the sideline to get the play. Late in the play clock right now. They need to get the snap off. 2nd and a long 6. And again, inside handoff and power running by Gilbert. And again, a late whistles. And we don't want things to escalate because the late whistles sometimes lead to
3rd down and about 2.
Well, that's the thing when you talk about the last 2 plays back. That whistle was about 10 seconds late. This one was about 5. But what happens is you get a lot of punching and pulling inside. And
elbows. Yep, agreed. Murdoch shotgun. And again, power run. Don't know if he picked it up. Gilbert running left side. Fell forward. And they're going to give him They gave him the first.
And it will be a first
strong
down
run to the
for
left.
Long Reach.
A lot of Gilbert here in this drive, and I wouldn't be surprised if they start to try to work in Etheridge and Thompson on some sweeps, maybe some wide runs, get the ball into their hands, because right now for River Hill, they're going to have to start packing in the middle of the field, right? Have the linebackers coming up to try to stop the run, and maybe that opens up the wide part of the field for the Lightning.
One receiver to the left side, but he is double covered. And they're going to stay on the inside. Flag and a whistle.
Flag on the play.
Line judge with
Offsides
the flag.
on the defense.
Defense offsides.
One thing River Hill really likes to do, defensive coordinator Briron Hebron likes to send a lot of blitzes, right? He will send his linebackers on blitzes on almost every single play, and sometimes two linebackers. That can open up a little bit there in the middle of that defense, and if they have the right play call against that blitz, that could go for a big play.
And that's a great observation by you, Brent, because if they have the right play call, if they have that little quick pass or the right run, and that one churning the legs by Chase Hopkins.
Well, they're definitely, for Long Reach, just having more success running the football. So whatever adjustment Jamie Willis and offensive coordinator Clint Smalley made halftime, it is working. First half, Murdoch did not have a lot of time to throw the football on the blitzes, right? Now they've seemed to figure out a way to run the football against this very good River Hill defense. This defense, by the way, giving up just 10 points a ball game this season. They have been stout.
And yet to give up a point tonight. We'll sweep to the right side, and it goes nowhere. And get a flag down. And a little mix-up there at the end. Tackle that time, Shane Schreckengast. He is an impressive
holding on the offense.
Comes into this game leading tackler for the Hawks, 25 tackles and a sack on the season. That's over 3 games, so he has been very active defensively this year.
That'll push the Lightning back 10 yards.
Loss of 10 on the holding call.
And we go back, by the way, where Schreckengast filling in for Hassan. Omar Hassan was not injured running the football as a quarterback. He was injured playing defense, which Coach was quick to point out. You know, we see Lamar Jackson and the criticism sometimes of a running quarterback could get hurt. Well, Hassan was there playing defense going in for a tackle and had the ankle rolled up. As a matter of fact, a lot of offers right now to play defensive back in college. Will probably be on that side of the football at the next level.
2 receivers to each side. Murdoch back pocket collapses quickly, and he gets it off, gets it to the line of scrimmage. Don't know if they're going to call a foul or not.
He was really close to the line of scrimmage because he was out of the pocket.
Murdoch's not getting up quickly. He is not getting up quickly. You talk about River Hill and their incredible program. They've sent over 75 players to play on in college football. 2 players played in the NFL. Michael Campanaro, obviously, with the Ravens. Kevin Johnson, the first-round pick of the Houston Texans. But to have a school like River Hill send 75 kids to play college football is certainly something.
Sounds like they'll send a few more.
Yeah.
You can add to that total. 4-time state champs here at River Hill. Flag has been thrown, by the way, for adding a little insult to injury for the quarterback, Noah Murdoch, who is slow to get up, but
limping,
intentional grounding on the last play. So go back to the state championships, by the way, Book, and just what an incredible job Brian Van Dusen has done here in his 24th season. He went back-to-back on 2 different occasions, 2007 and 2008, and then did it again in 2011, 2012.
The Hawks
Well, we talked about, by the way, Lightning having to change quarterbacks in the last game against Howard. It looks like we're going to get Colin Michelson into the ball game, but because of injury, not because of getting pulled like we saw last week.
And you mentioned earlier, Coach Willis specifically doesn't want to pull a quarterback, but obviously in this instance, it's a completely different scenario. Referee's now sorting out. Grounding is called. And loss of down. So it'll be 4th down.
So I'm not sure why. If you see where the ball is spotted, actually got moved forward. They're going to have to bring this back. But I'm looking at the marker on the near side. They actually moved it about 5 yards forward.
Interesting.
Which I'm not sure why it went in that direction. And they haven't marked off the ball yet. And now a timeout is Long Reach will get together.
They'll get in there, their punt squad coming out. And that'll give Colin Michelson, number 9, the junior quarterback, a chance to really start throwing on the sideline, take some snaps on the sideline, get into the game, because the way Noah Murdoch left the field, it certainly didn't look like he was going to be coming back very quickly.
Feels like the first 5 minutes of the third quarter is taking about 45 minutes to get through. A lot of delays. It's been hard for either team to find any real momentum here early in the third.
So Long Reach lining up to punt.
Punt team in.
RJ Samuels, the punter.
They've not had great punts yet tonight, but RJ Samuels has it in him. See if he can get one off. Oh, it almost gets blocked, and it's his best punt of the night by far. And a great cover play tackle from Long Reach. And that is Dexter Travers. He's played well this evening.
Yeah, same kid that got the penalty that we thought was a clean block on that touchdown return called back, but all the way down. What a good punt. Give credit to that long punt all the way back to the 15, and Travers there making an open field tackle.
First and 10 for River Hill from the 15.
This is the worst field position River Hill has had all night.
Schreckengast back in at QB, the junior. Had a fantastic evening so far.
Home Slice Pizza.
One receiver to his left, handoff goes that direction. A little jitterbug for a gain of about 6.
It's the first time we've seen River Hill go to a power formation in the backfield.
Jet Bourne with the carry.
One for Long Reach. Jalen Etheridge on the tackle will bring up a 2nd down for River Hill.
And now we have a River Hill player. Slow to get up. He gets up on his own.
Good show. Thank you.
Trying to see what, okay. That is number 21 at Calvin Grove.
Sponsors, Integrated Financial Solutions, Kelly Care, Kona Ice, Leonard Paper Company, Pretty Chimney Solutions, River Hill McDonald's.
2nd and about 5. Schreckengast shotgun, takes it, run the whole way.
Shrek on the carry, number 7.
It's been one of the favorite plays tonight, Booker. Just get it to 2, let him run. He loves running it to the left of that big offensive line. Every time he's done that tonight, I feel like it's been at least 4 or 5, if not 10 yards a carry.
Number 78, a big Renato Tejada. One of the guys on that line that's just a difference maker.
See River Hill really working the clock as well. Just moving the chains. We talked about the 28-zip lead they had last week against Centennial and ended up winning 28-18. Controlling the clock, see if they can add to it.
Another called run. And Schreckengast with the gain.
56 for long reach on the tackle.
This time, Schreckengast goes to the right. And Booker, watch how patient he is when he runs the football. He really waits for his blockers in front of him. He waits for the holes to develop, and then you see him sort of burst of speed, hits that hole, but he's a patient runner, especially for a quarterback and a backup quarterback at that. This is not what he has been doing all season, right? A defensive standout, but tonight taking the snaps, and he has looked really comfortable.
And we do have a timeout on the field for an injured River Hill player. We will step away momentarily. Over 5 minutes to go here, third quarter, 21-zip. River Hill over Long Reach.
Experience the thrill of the Baltimore Running Festival. Join us on October 14th and journey through the heart of Charm City. Over our first 20 years, we have created great memories, incredible accomplishments, and lifelong friendships. We have the perfect distance for every runner to conquer, from the Full to the Curio Wellness 5K, the Pandora 10K, and of course, the Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield half. All of our runners will receive a top-notch Under Armour Runner's Premium. Go to thebaltimoremarathon.com and register today.
Nice look at that offensive huddle for River Hill. And Brent, you talked about patience as a runner, and after this down, I want to elaborate on that point because it certainly is an art form. Schreckengast gets upended after gaining the first down. You talk about patience. You can't coach speed. You can't coach toughness, but can you coach patience in a runner?
I think it's a natural thing, right? It's an instinct to be able to be patient because most runners want to hit that hole and want to hit it hard and want to get downfield as quick as possible. Schreckengast has done a great job of letting plays develop, and we've seen some big plays because of it. Even on that last run of about 4 or 5 yards, he waited for his blockers in front of him to start opening up the holes, and that's not easy to do, to be patient as a runner.
It certainly is an art form, and he has put it on display tonight as he hands it off left side and more big yards. Oh, and the ball comes out at the end, and it's going to be long reach ball. That is clearly a fumble after a tremendous run.
Bourne is still down. I think he's hurt as he's grabbing his leg. It's kind of fell awkwardly.
And this third quarter has been marked with some injuries. First turnover of the night for River Hill.
It's now one turnover for each defense. River Hill was able to get the interception, and then Long Reach on that long play able to come up with a big fumble.
Get a look at this replay, and we'll see when the ball comes out, but a great run by Jet.
Just poked it out.
And then it looked like he slammed his knee on the turf.
It was Jalen Etheridge, by the way, not only poked the ball loose, but fell on it. Bourne putting no pressure at all on that left leg.
Yeah.
So, correction on the last call.
That young man is okay. That was a big-time run. He has played just terrific here tonight with a team that is dealing with a lot of injuries without their top running back in Nicholas Gibbs, who's out of this ball game. Bourne's filled in nicely. 3 touchdowns on the season, has one here tonight.
Well, confusion reigns supreme.
And we have like a timeout on the field.
I'm going to go back to my original call. Long reach ball after the turnover.
Long reach possession after the tremendous run by Jet Bourne, but ball shaken loose at the end.
And Booker, defense didn't give up on it. On a long run, they tracked him down, able to poke it out.
And Colin Michelson, or is it Etheridge, taking the snap there. It is Robert Hicks, number 16, in at quarterback.
This is interesting because last week it was Murdoch and Michelson at quarterback, the two playing, where Hicks didn't get any snaps. So his first action coming in for the injured Noah Murdoch.
And now we get a pre-snap whistle.
And it's curious, too, because you're down 21-0. And again, we don't know a lot. We have not seen Robert Hicks before, but Michelson, the junior quarterback, has 3 touchdown passes this season. He's a throwing quarterback, and down 3 scores, you would think he'd fit perfectly into what they need right now, but we'll see what Robert Hicks, the junior, has to offer.
Hicks inside handoff. Samuel breaks it.
And it's number 12, Joshua Gilbert for the carry.
Gilbert makes a couple guys miss.
First down for long reach.
And that is another first down. This long reach offense has found a way.
Check that. It'll be a second and about 2.
We didn't see a whole lot of Gilbert in the first half. He has had some really tough runs here in the second half. Kind of giving long reach a little bit of a spark here offensively.
Number 2, Matthew Brown goes in motion to the left. And Hicks from the shotgun. Quick pass out to the side and incomplete.
Third down.
Again, trying to get it in the hands of Etheridge any way they possibly can. We saw what he did on the kick return that was called back on the penalty, but he is electric. Any way they can get him involved.
Big third down, 3rd and yard and a half, 2 yards at the most. And I can see Hicks taking it straight ahead. He's got 2 running backs to his right.
Etheridge, talk about the Wildcat, little different formation, straight snap.
And there he goes. Maybe that's how you get him the ball. Etheridge takes the snap.
Etheridge on the carry.
And a flag on the play.
Gigante on the tackle, but there is a flag on the play.
And a hold against the offense will negate the first down.
It's been tough, Booker. Anytime long reach has grabbed a little momentum, it has been some mistakes and some penalties that have brought it back and really backed them up.
If they keep shooting themselves in the foot, they're not going to have any feet left. It's just been one thing after another here in this third quarter, which still has a full 5 minutes remaining.
Ball back to the long reach.
Yeah, it's got to be frustrating for head coach Jamie Willis that he's looking for any spark, and he's gotten a couple here in the second half, and they've been called back because of the penalties.
So now 3rd and 11. And it looks like Hicks is going to take the direct snap with Gilbert. There's Hicks rolling to his left, passes, completes it, and that's going to get a first down.
Number 16.
Hicks gets a little bit of a spark.
Complete.
Wow.
To number 2.
Matthew Brown was open there in the flat. That is a very hard pass to complete. He's rolling against his body to the opposite sideline and to throw across your body right on target. Great pass by Hicks.
Great play call, great timing, Great footwork by Hicks.
Hardest part, Booker, is getting your hips around to make that throw, because if you're lazy with the hips, you're going to sail that throw over your wide receiver's head. That was on the money.
Or it's just going to float on you and give one of those athletic defensive backs from River Hill a chance to come in and take her away. Little bit of a stoppage. Referee comes in. And now they'll wind the clock. 1st and 10 from just about midfield. And that play never had a chance. It was
on the play.
Well, the ball was never snapped.
Yeah.
So, pre-snap penalty. And
they called one of those on the defense in the first half for jumping in. False start on the offense.
Call is a false start on
and that's going to back them up 5. Stay first down. But Robert Hicks, he's basically been thrown in the car with a live cougar, and he has found a way to embrace the fear. Short gain that time, bring up 2nd and a long 13.
Right at midfield, and Lightning have not been on that side of the field into River Hill territory a whole lot here tonight. Long reach taking a lot of time in the line of scrimmage. Again, a switch at quarterback from Murdoch to Hicks. This is the best the offense has looked here tonight, but taking way too long between plays.
Hicks steps up into the pocket, makes a man miss, goes down.
Number 16 for long reach.
It's popped at the end of that.
Hicks.
But he gained a healthy 8 or 9 yards.
Ends up play, just avoiding the rush and sidesteps it. And he knows right away, Booker, I need to run this football, right? At this point, he knows he's running the football. And good pickup by Hicks.
Gaining yards, 3rd and 6. Shotgun, single setback, 2 receivers each side. Hicks down the left side, and that is going to be completed. And to who else? Jalen Etheridge.
Just throw it up, because Etheridge is going to figure out a way to bring it down at 6'1". So athletic. He's going to high point the football. And Hicks puts it exactly where he knows Jalen Etheridge can catch it.
Quarter running out. Long reach, looking like they're trying to get one more snap off before the end, and they do. Hicks again steps up and gets squashed. Ball comes out at the end. He was ruled down by contact, and that will conclude the 3rd quarter, which was quite eventful, but no scoring.
A lot of pressure on that last play. Nate Bacon, Caden Lee getting to the quarterback. And we see a lot of blitzes from River Hill. That one landed.
River Hill Hawks 21, long reach.
21-0 here in the home opener for the River Hill Hawks. Healthy lead. Long reach, trying to make something out of anything.
Get home safely. Thank you.
16 playoff victories, 2 coveted trophies, legions of devoted fans. And for 18 years, the Baltimore Ravens have chosen MedStar Health for their medical care. For generations, people across the region have trusted MedStar Health. We're proud to provide the same quality care to the Ravens and their fans. Because there's power in trust. MedStar Health. It's how we treat people.
Since 1837, our mission has been to chronicle the life and spirit of Maryland and the Chesapeake Bay. In all we do and in all we stand for, we are Baltimore. This is the Baltimore Sun.
M&T Bank Stadium, and it is getting loud. Stroud on the play fake, he's hit and struck, and the Ravens stuff the Texans. Zay Flowers on the far side, spins at the 25, still on his feet. Pumped once, going deep. He's got OBJ over the shoulder catch, and the Ravens have it in the red zone as OBJ delights the home crowd.
Don't miss a game. Don't miss a moment. Don't blink.
Long Reach able to get a play off there during the restart of the fourth quarter. The River Hill band playing a little Liberace there a moment ago.
Hicks rolls out.
I know my man Blake Corrigan's thrilled with that. Shuffle Mania running wild on you, brother.
So that's an incompletion on that one, but what you missed in the commercial was a nice 12-yard pickup on a throw. Big question for Long Reach going into this season. How do they replace Bryce Kuntz to graduation quarterback last year? He was so good for this team. This is already the third quarterback they played early in the season, and we had Noah Murdoch left with the injury. Colin Michelson, who played last week. But so far, Robert Hicks has by far been the most impressive. This is the best they played this year. Young number 16 has been a big part of this spark.
Hicks in the shotgun, steps up and gets knocked down just barely. It looked like he was going to escape that, but no such luck. And number 56, Matthew Martin, the senior, has an impact.
Coming from the blind side, and I don't think Hicks ever saw the pressure coming. Good job just holding on to the football there. But either way, being a fourth down play, it ends up being a turnover on downs. And, you know, for Long Reach, every fourth down at this point, down 3 scores, you got to go for it.
And that may have been a nice opportunity to kind of chuck and duck. Chuck it up towards.
He didn't even have any time. Yeah. I mean, that was a quick blitz on the blind side. Yeah, great job. Good play call by Breon Hebron, the defensive coordinator for River Hill.
Quick toss sweep to the right side, and good to see Jet Bourne back in the game as he left a moment ago, and he gobbles up about 60 yards on that one.
Yeah, last we saw Jet Bourne, he was coming off the field with an injury, holding his left leg. Let me tell you, both those legs working well on this long run. He has had a huge night. The senior running back, Jet Bourne. You may remember West Virginia star back in the day, James Jet.
Yep.
Right? Speed to burn. We've seen a lot of that out of Jet Bourne here tonight.
And here comes River Hill back into the red zone. And a host of Long Reach tacklers in on Jet Bourne.
Good run, but the thing that impressed me the most on that run, Booker, Jet Bourne covering up the football. There was no way he was going to let that thing go. He was challenged. Long Reach reaching in, trying to pull that ball out, but good job with ball security.
And here you see that example. You talked about it earlier, how River Hill working the clock. They don't want to go through that 18-point comeback, or, you know, call it a comeback that they endured last week. Schreckengas gobbled up by another host
right away by number 2
of long-reach tacklers.
About 4 or 5 in on the tackle.
Yeah.
Booker, that might be the first time all night that Schreckengas wasn't able to get back to the line of scrimmage. He has been picking up 5, 10 per carry. On that carry, though, stopped short of the yard to gain.
Matthew Brown in on the tackle along with Aiden Keys Fortune.
Clock continues to tick down. Coach Van Dusen really working the clock. We're feeling they're going to call a timeout here as they maybe let it run all the way down.
And it looks like Schreckengas is kind of stretching something as he stands there.
Timeout.
And they do let it wind all the way down. And Schreckengas now down on the turf.
I think he's cramping up. Yeah. Because what they're doing is stretching out the right leg. I think he was cramping up after that last tackle.
It's about time. I mean, he's done everything. Tackles, touchdown runs, great passes. I think I saw him checking the tire pressure on the buses at halftime. I mean, he does it all.
All phases, right? Offense, defense.
How do you make it until now not to cramp up?
It's unbelievable. What a performance tonight for Shane Schreckengas. I mean, I'm just so impressed. You never know when you lose a star player like Omar Hassan, a quarterback, how's the team react? How does a backup step in? Do they feel pressure to duplicate the success that the kid Hassan was having this season with the 7 touchdown runs and 1 passing score? I feel like Schreckengas has kind of played with it himself as we talked about his patience. He has been incredibly impressive tonight.
Yes, he certainly has.
By the way, he's probably got double-digit tackles as well. He's been in every tackle defensively tonight for the Hawks.
Quick handoff into the right side.
Deborn on the carry.
Not a tremendous gain. It's going to be 4th.
Not a bad job by Long Reach. They were late getting back out onto the field. They snapped it quick and still made the play. They were still getting set up when the ball was snapped. Nice job there.
4th and 5.
Again, field goal doesn't really change much. You're just trying to work the clock. And if you aren't able to get a first down here, you're leaving Long Reach with a really long field. So just continue to run it.
Just over 8 minutes to go here in the 4th. Motion to the left side.
Taking a lot of time off the clock all the way down on the play clock.
And Coach Van Dusen winds it all the way down and then takes a timeout. They really are milking it.
Coach Van Dusen played his college football at Western Maryland, of course, now McDaniel College. And
21-0 your score here at River Hill.
On October 28th, come experience a brand new race. Featuring a scenic course through the boardwalk and Assateague Island. Run through our unique course and enjoy our post-race party, featuring Michelob Ultra, Hoop Tea, and Food Lion refreshments. Don't miss our one-of-a-kind oyster medal and high-quality runners premiums. Register now at ocrunfest.com.
The Long Reach defense ready to try and make a big stop here on a 4th down. Midway through the 4th quarter. Little inside double handoff, and that ball comes out as he hit the ground.
Number 8, Jeff Ward on the carry.
I like that play call, Brent.
Nice cut back by Bourne. The ball coming loose after he hit the turf. Also impressed how quick he got up to get the fumbled football in front of 2 from long reach. But that's a nice creative play by head coach and offensive coordinator Brian Van Dusen. Sort of a double reverse, and he talked to us about a lot of deception. They like to use a lot of motion. Perfect time to get long reach, leaning the wrong way, and pick up a big first down.
And you say double reverse, normally that's behind the quarterback. This was in front of the quarterback. That is tremendously creative play call.
It's quick, because it is in front, so the handoffs are happening very quickly, and the defense didn't react quite as quick as the play unfolded.
And again, clock is stopped. No, it's running. Sorry.
Yeah, they're just running as much time off the clock. They're very conscious of the play clock. Even though we can't see it, I think they're getting some cues from the referees on the field.
Toss right side.
Jim Bourne on the carry down to
Bourne
the 1 yard
all the way down to the 1 yard line. And you can see the long reach defense. Their shoulders are starting to drop a little bit.
Coming up just short, maybe the best thing for River Hill, because they can run another play or two here. Again, we can't see a play clock on the field, but they very clearly are getting some cues from the referees on the field, because they are running it down on every play, using every last second to milk it. And the running game's been so good for River Hill, but they're not going to leave a whole lot of time. If they can punch this in, this might just be the final blow.
And Schreckengast does just that as he rolls over a would-be tackler. And cramping again. As well he should.
I mean, what an effort. Just fights his way in, rolls his way through the defender for the touchdown. And what a night for Schreckengast. A couple of touchdowns. Think about that first drive where he had the long run and he continues to cramp up in that left leg, but it did not stop him from getting in for the score.
And you see the man he's replacing, Omar Hassan, right there to congratulate him. And that's good team spirit, team culture here at River Hill.
You got to figure out a way, as head coach Brian Van Dusen, how do you get Schreckengast into this offense when Omar Hassan comes back? What a 1-2 punch that can be. Is he at running back, tight end, wide receiver? You got to get him involved.
They love running the football, so I think you can find a way to get him the ball in the backfield. But you're right, I'm glad I don't have that problem.
It's a nice problem to have, and I think head coach Van Dusen is standing on the sidelines right now thinking, well, I have a lot of talented players on offense, and how do you use them all? Again, we didn't see Nicholas Gibbs in this game out. He's the top running back. Jet Bourne steps up. Huge game for Bourne with a couple of touchdowns. Same with Schreckengast, backup quarterback, a couple of touchdowns as well.
Beautiful night here in Howard County for the Ravens Rise High School Football Showdown. And tremendous efforts.
It feels like fall, right? It's a little cool tonight.
Tad.
I like it.
Tad cool. Do they kick it back to Etheridge?
Not after the last one. I mean, River Hill all night was doing the pooch kick until the last kick they had, where Etheridge took it all the way back 90 yards, but called back because of the penalty. I think the smart thing is to go back to the pooch. I might onside kick.
And they go for the sideline kick. Etheridge gathers it, looks to accelerate, goes all the way across the right side of the field. You see a would-be blocker for long reach, just putting his hands up in the air. You'll see in the replay here, he was conceding the I'm not going to get a foul on this play.
I know it's a 28-point lead, but I am not kicking to number one. This guy is electric. Nearly breaks this one.
Watch here at the end. There's a blocker who just has his hands in the air. See?
By the way, I think that was Travers, who was the one who was called on the one that went all the way back. I guess he wants to make sure.
First and 10 for the Lightning. Motion, quick inside handoff. And that is Jaden Thompson with the carry, the senior.
Matthew Kim with the tackle.
We haven't seen a lot of him tonight. We featured him in our open. Electric, both sides of the football. He's the leader in the secondary for Long Reach's defense, but as a wide receiver, second team All-County last year. And my goodness, River Hill's done a great job of taking him out of this ballgame.
And that's just great coaching by Van Dusen and his entire staff. McCoy, Owens, Hebron. Long pass across the field by Hicks is completed.
And the long reach pass is complete to number 2.
This long reach offense, they might have something with Hicks.
You know, I hope that Noah Murdoch is okay. He left this game injured. Colin Michelson did not play in this ball game, even though he's got some experience this year, 3 touchdown passes. But this kid Hicks, he has been impressive here in the second half. For Long Reach, you might have a little bit of a quarterback battle going in to practice on Monday as they get ready for the next game.
Agree 100%, especially the way Noah Murdoch left the field. He didn't look like he was going to be doing sprints anytime real soon. So Michelson and Hicks are going to have to step up a little bit, and hopefully Noah Murdoch will be there on practice on Monday. Long Reach going, hurry up. Hicks shotgun. Quick pass and very well thrown. Caught by Samuels.
Been talking about him all night. Get this kid involved. Ricardo R.J. Samuels, big body sophomore.
Matthew Kim on the tackle.
Tight end.
First down for Long
He moved from offensive line to tight end from last year to this year. He looks like a lineman, but he's thinned out a little, and he can run the routes.
Deep ball into the corner, out of bounds.
Hicks going deep on the pass, but it's incomplete.
But Hicks is getting that timing down where he's letting the ball go to places where his guys can make plays.
Well, this portion of the schedule for Long Reach might be the toughest of the season. They had Athelton a couple of weeks ago. They got a big win there. Lost to Howard 24-zip last week, and then, of course, this matchup with River Hill. And you get through this, and you got a young kid like Hicks. Maybe Jamie Willis finds something here down the stretch. And he talked about a team hitting its stride week 7, week 8, week 9. That's what they're trying to build for.
That is an excellent point that he did make in our conversation, and great point by you to bring it up, that he understands how to get a team to peak at the right time.
Hey, he said the only stat that matters is going 1-0 each week, and they're very focused on each game moving forward. But he did say, you got to peak at the end of the season, right? And this might be a team that does that, Booker. I mean, what we're seeing here in the second half out of this offense has been much improved from the first 2 quarters.
Shotgun for Hicks, pre-snap whistle.
Remember, they were down 21-zip at the break. They've only given up 7 here in the second half. It's been much better effort, I think, quite honestly, from Long Reach here in the second half.
And it was going to be a false start, but they called a timeout before the flag.
Don't have to get all of it back here on one play. You're looking at 3rd and about 20. Maybe try to pick up 8 or 10, set yourself up for 4th and something that you can legitimately have a shot at getting to move the chains.
Something that Hicks can manage, because he's shown that he can manage the game. He can manage those 11 to 15-yard throws. He's completed a couple of them.
Continue to look for that guy, number 10, man. He just looks like a football player. R.J. Samuels, he's only a sophomore. He's only going to get better. Also plays defensive tackle with that big frame.
Shotgun. Hicks, quick pass to his right. And a stop-and-go move. I'll tell you what, talk about a move that'll make your pupils dilate. That was jitterbug hiccup quick.
We talked a lot about Etheridge and Thompson, but Matthew Brown, number 2, the senior, 5'10", 145, has been impressive. He's been their best target. He leads them right now in catches tonight. Big part of the offense.
That was a sick stop-and-go move. And we get a timeout.
And a flag.
And a flag. Jeepers creepers.
And I think that might be on head coach Jamie Willis. His assistants are holding him back. Another assistant is out on the field. I think there may have been something said that the referees took exception to. And at Willis, his reaction was quick.
Love to wonder why. I mean, it's on the absolute far side of the field in the shadows.
I'll tell you one thing. When we get ready for a game, we're prepping, we talk to the coaches. Thoroughly enjoyed our conversations with both head coaches. They both run awesome programs here in Howard County. Coach Willis has been here 11 years. Van Duzen has been here now 24 seasons. They are staples here in this conference in Howard County, and typically two of the best teams as well.
Certainly do, and their conversations very revealing, open and honest. Coach Willis said, I love running the spread so I can spread them out and run the ball. And with his athletes, he can do either one now. And with Hicks, it seems like the spread might lead to some passing. Jalen Etheridge split down to the bottom of your screen. Hicks looks to him immediately. Thought it might be a double pass, but it's not. They just get it to Etheridge in space, and he makes everybody miss, and he continues to do so all the way down towards the goal line, and now another flag is thrown.
To the 1 yard line.
That was a 4th and 20 that Etheridge just all by himself somehow created.
Made it look easy.
Wow. You got to find ways to get into Jalen Etheridge's hands, because
impressive.
He does some special things.
The flag was very late. After the play had ended, the tackle had been made.
On the near side, they started moving the chains, and then they stopped. And
unsportsmanlike conduct. And instead of being on the 1 yard line, here's the replay.
No, don't worry, man. You're good. Thank you for your help. Appreciate it.
Broke a couple tackles late, but pulled all the way back to about the 16-yard line on the penalty.
15 yards.
Think about the two huge plays by Etheridge tonight, both called back because of penalties. The 90-plus yard kick return for a touchdown that was as electric as this last play we saw, because he went north-south and east-west to get into the end zone. And then that one on a 4th and 20 comes all the way back across the field and nearly scores, only to have another penalty.
Yeah. But the penalty was after the play, so he'll still, grab some kind of silver lining. Grab the silver lining, because he's not going to get credit for the 90-plus yard kick return, but he should get the 40 yards on a 4th and 20.
Just amazing.
He's got what it takes to make a mountain man leave his home. As they come out off the sideline. Clock at 2:47.
As we look at the final couple of minutes here, you got to think, Book, that this River Hill Hawks team in good position. This is a team that won the Class 3A East Regional last year, went all the way into the state semis where they lost to Damascus. Throw to the end zone.
And not touchdown. Yes, he did ring it in. Right to Jaden Thompson, who you highlighted in the open, puts the first points on the board for Long Reach.
I thought that was defended well. What a catch here. Watch Jaden come straight into your screen and hangs on to it. Juggled it a little bit at the end.
And Hicks with a quick three-step drop.
Jeff Bourne was right there defensively, and good job by Thompson to hang on.
He was laying on the ground kind of juggling it.
Really impressed with what we have seen from Robert Hicks. He's a junior quarterback. You just said three-step drop. He gets it out quick and allows Thompson to go get the football, even with two defenders.
Going for two. No shocker there. Fake handoff to the right, and a nice play by Etheridge to convert the two-point try. And you see the athleticism, even in a two-point conversion. Watch this.
And that'll be Hawks 28, Lightning 8.
Jalen Etheridge, one of the top wide receivers in Howard County. I bet you he leads this county in missed tackles, broken tackles, highlight plays this season. He is special.
Ankle breakers.
My goodness. It's been fun to watch Jalen Etheridge tonight.
As my dad used to always say, he's got moves that would make your pupils dilate. And then he'd also say he's got more moves than X-Lax.
We've seen all the moves tonight from Etheridge. I think for Clarence Smalley, the offensive coordinator, he's been with Coach Willis now a dozen years. They know each other well. This is a Long Reach team that likes to run the football. How do we get the ball into the hands of Etheridge and Thompson as wide receivers, right? That is, I think, what they're going to try to work on as we go through this season. You got to have those two guys heavily involved.
And to get them to peak at the right time, as you said.
And Samuels.
And you flip the script now. You have River Hill, who has obviously imposed their will throughout the entirety of this game. And you're talking about a second-string quarterback, second-string running back. I mean, they are a talented squad. We're getting a real treat tonight as far as athleticism and some teams that have some playoff aspirations.
What team last week went into their game with a lot of backups?
Yeah.
The Ravens.
Yeah.
Right? 8 of them. And what did they do? They went into Cincinnati, two-time division champs, and beat them on the road. And the backups have, they practice just as hard, and there's some really talented players. And even with the backups tonight, this team, River Hill, did not skip a beat.
No. And huge credit to Shane Schreckencast. I mean, he has been the straw that stirred this River Hill football squad.
My question is, when Omar Hassan is healthy and ready to go, how do they get Shane Schreckengast into this offensive lineup? How do you utilize his special talents?
Gifted. He's definitely a gifted athlete.
And heck of a runner, right? We talked about how he looks for contact as a runner.
Play to gobble up some time here with 2:30 left.
Brought down by number 10.
And I don't think they're going to have any more designed runs for Schreckengast tonight. A lot of tosses.
Well, last couple of plays on the last drive where he ended up scoring the touchdown, you could see cramping up in the right leg. And you don't want that to turn into an injury.
Sure.
As you know, you start to cramp and continue to push, you can pull something. And I do think Schreckengast is going to have fairly easy here in the last couple of minutes. I was looking on the roster. They don't even have a third quarterback listed because I was curious if they would go to their third in this situation, but they don't have one listed on the roster. I don't know who their emergency quarterback would be.
Another time-gobbling run up the inside.
By the way, Andres Contreras, number 15, who just had a run. He's had a handful of runs tonight also. Just, you know, you talk about a guy a little further on the depth chart and still had a major impact in this ballgame.
And huge credit to the offensive line for the River Hill Hawks. They have opened holes. Nathan Faulkner, Cole Messina, Renato Tejeda.
And most of the O-line returning from last year. This is an O-line with a lot of experience.
Straight ahead run
by Shrek for the first down.
Surprised that they would continue to put it in his hands. What a heck of a night he's had.
Thank you so much to our friends at MedStar and the Baltimore Sun for all they do. And, of course, our great friends at the Ravens. Scott Cohen joined us at halftime, and Adam Rudell and Shamar Gray for all they do. It's a fabulous organization. And that's your last snap.
And Shane takes a knee.
Just really impressed with River Hill tonight. They'll go to 3-1, off to a great start with all the backups we talked about. Still coming in on a big game on a short week, getting it done here with their first home game of the season. Ravens rise, great crowd, also win for the Hawks.
And we have our next game on September 29th, Joppatown at Edgewood. That promises to be a big one. And then the next one after that, Westminster at Liberty. Also another classic. Ravens rise. High school football showdown. Thank you so much to everybody who made this a great, great event to be a part of. As you see, the respect between both squads.
A lot of history here between these two teams. And River Hill, Long Reach, it goes all the way back, 1996. This has always been a good one.
It is 100% a great, great event when these two teams get together. River Hill gets the better. And a great night for Shane Schreckengast. Big win. Big home win.